I will start by giving you guys some information about myself and Blushington. So Blushington is a premier destination for women to have hair, makeup, skincare, brow shaping, and dry styling done in America. We have 6 locations in New York, in Dallas, and in LA. And I have been a senior makeup artist and lead trainer for the New York City stores for about 4 years. So while our stores are temporarily closed, we have gone virtual, and what a turnout we're having. I've taught many of you guys already in virtual classes, and we do all kinds of personalized experiences, whether you want somebody to walk you through makeup on your wedding day, or teach you how to finally achieve that eye makeup look you've been trying forever and haven't figured out, or whether you want to have a get together with girlfriends for a bachelorette party or birthday party. So one of the things that we pride ourselves on at Blushington is the ability to create customized experiences for people. So that's exactly what we've decided to do. This is the first of my 4-part series. And the series theme is going to be makeup through the ages. So today I figured this was a good kind of intro to teach everybody some introductory concepts, how to hold your brushes, which colors go where, placement and blending. And this is a universally flattering eye makeup look for all ages, all stages, all colors. And then we'll move further into details for the decades as the classes go forward. So, sorry. So I just want to mention to everybody, normally when we do one-on-one classes, we do stay off of mute and it's very interactive, but because we have such a large group, I love that everybody is comfortable staying on mute. However, if you have questions, please type them into, we have the chat box in the very center on the bottom of your screen. And you can type in questions as we go along, and I will do my best to answer them. We also have a 20% off code for shopping online at blushington.com, and that is Lauren20. I believe that will be pinned in the chat box, so you can copy that down anytime. I also recommend that you pin my video or you hit speaker view. That way you don't have distractions of other people, and you won't get you don't get thrown off by seeing other people working. So, and you're welcome to just watch, take notes, or follow along with me. Okay, so, and I just want to mention that all of the products I'm going to use today. Oh, I'm going to show you, Khalid, how to make your eyes pop. That was our first question. How do I make my eyes pop on Zoom? So what I'm going to teach you today is really more of a basic technique for a very soft and approachable look for everyone. But once you learn this look, you can create the same style eye with any shades that you want, any variation, and anything that you add, you can create like a whole different style of eye makeup. But this is really the basics, and you can wear it just simply like this, which is how I do my eye makeup most days, or you can bump it up with certain things. So, so about the brands that I'll be using. I'm using all brands that we retail at Blushington and that we have used professionally as artists. So these are all, we curate from what we feel are the best of the best brands. They're all independent luxury brands and predominantly all female founded and female run. And that's really important to us at Blushington because we are a female founded and female run brand. And one of our missions is to promote self-confidence to women through finding their own inner beauty and having the confidence to go out in the world. I see Gigi singing. To go out in the world. Oh, Tammy. Okay. Blushington, Tammy cannot hear me. Can everybody else hear me? Okay, all right. So yes, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, but yes, so we believe that every single woman is unique, individual, okay, thank you, and beautiful. Everyone has their own beauty, and our motto is that feeling pretty is priceless. So again, we're all beautiful, and we all have that beauty, but when we feel that beauty, that's priceless. That is what allows us to go out into the world with confidence, be seen, be heard, and be taken seriously. So, okay, sorry. Let's see. Okay, so all the products that we use, again, they're these female founded brands predominantly, really with the exception of we have a great clinical skincare line that I'm going to be using, and that's from a wonderful Upper East Side dermatologist. And oh, yes, brows can be a challenge. If we have time, I can show you a little bit of brows. But for the most part, I want to kind of keep it to just the eyes, just the eyeshadows. And I am going to use a lash curler. So anybody that wants to learn or is intimidated, please go grab that lash curler. I'm going to teach you how to use it. I'm very grateful to my mother who taught me how to use it at a young age. But it really makes a huge difference. You'll see once I do mine. So if you have one, go grab it. And otherwise, let's get started. So, okay, so I'm going to start with, actually, I'm going to use some under eye cream. Very important. This is that clinical skincare brand I mentioned. It's Beauty RX. And this is developed by this wonderful New York City dermatologist that most of us at Blushington use. And this is a gentle exfoliating under eye cream. Now, it's always important to put on some under eye cream as part of your daily routine. But I still like to put it on even a little bit on top of makeup just to moisturize this area and make sure that no product soaks in or shows any dryness under the eye. So I'm just taking a tiny little bit, just about that much. And some people say that you should always use your ring fingers because they're the weakest. But I like to use my pinky. Oh, and yes, we have somebody wonderful from Blushington on who is going to post links in the chat for each product that I use. Okay, so I like to use my pinky because I can really get underneath and in the tight little spot. So that would be the first step, is putting on some under eye cream. And I love this because it is gentle and it is exfoliating, which means that it will not cause melia, which some of us have experienced that, where you get those tiny little, almost like a little pustule right under the skin, under the eyes. That happens sometimes from the richness of so many eye creams. So this is rich, but because it also has a very small, safe amount of glycolic, it's also exfoliating the skin under there, which is brightening it, smoothing out lines. It really is, this is a staple product of Blushington. So next, I'm gonna do a 2-in-1, okay? The brand is Beauty RX. So next I'm gonna do a 2-in-1 because I like to do things fast, on the go, simple, multitasking. So I'm going to conceal under my eyes and prime and powder down my eyelids to get started for the makeup. Doing this all with my Stila Correct and Perfect palette. So this is a color correction palette. If you're not familiar with color correction, I'm going to show you how the pros do it. When you color correct properly, there is little to no need for concealer, which is really nice because concealer can come with all of its own challenges, finding the right consistency, finding the right color, knowing exactly where to place it. What the professionals do is we correct hyperpigmentation of any kind. So most of us have somewhat of a grayish, bluish shadow under the eye. If you are like Western Asian, a lot of women have almost more of a dark brown coloring under the eye, and this works for that as well. So what I will show you is, and you'll see I have my most well-loved colors, but so it comes with 5 creams and 2 powders. So, and what's great about this is it has a little cheat sheet on the back of what each color does and where to place it, what color it counteracts. And it also comes with one, like something like this that you can tape to your bathroom mirror, which is great. So I'm going to use a damp beauty blender to apply this. Now, if you're applying to my skin coloring, which would be like a medium warm to, let's say, a darker medium. Generally, what you'll use is this warm peach color. Peach will cancel out those purple and blues under the eye. Now, if you have a darker skin tone, what you would want to do is use this orange color, and then you can dab right over it with some of your foundation. I'm actually on the warmer side right now, so I'm going to mix just a touch of this with a touch of that. And if you're very fair, you would use this light pink. Oh, yes. Yes, Natasha, this is, I mean, you need so much less product, which also makes it so much more flattering. And I'm going to show you, instead of doing all of these triangle shapes and all of these things with concealer, this just makes everything disappear. So I'm going to just take my damp beauty blender, and I'm just mixing a little bit of each of these so that I get that warm peach, but maybe just a touch warmer. So now the place where you want to place this is just in the under eye area where you have discoloration. So I'm literally just stamping it. Yes, the beauty blender should always be damp. Now there are other brands that make similar looking products. This is actually the brand Beauty Blender, which I love, another female founded brand. These were designed for quick and fast makeup applications by a makeup artist working on set, on movie sets. So it's completely hand cut, made in America, and they absorb water. It's like a patented kind of technology. So they absorb water and you squeeze it out completely. I usually blot mine on a towel so that it's literally just damp, but it grows almost to like twice the size. And once it is damp inside, it will not absorb your product. It literally just bounces it off the top and gives you an airbrush kind of finish. So now that I have it on there, so I'm just stamping it right in that under eye area. And if you are of the age where you're starting to get any lines under the eyes, what you really want to focus on is keeping the moisture under eye. Yes, that exfoliator does help get rid of melia. It also won't cause it, but because it has a light exfoliant in it, it will help to I guess exfoliate that area where there's a little just too much fat and moisture. So as I was saying, you want to focus on keeping this area moisturized and as little product as possible, and no powder, never any powder. It's everybody's worst enemy. So as you can see, the discoloration is kind of just disappearing. And you can see it on this side, whereas on this side, it's gone. But it's actually, I didn't have to put product all over. I literally just filled in where I had some of the discoloration to make it match the rest of my skin tone. And this is personalized, so you can do it, you know, as intensely as you want. So I'm gonna get a little bit more on, and I'm just stamping this over my entire eyelid. And again, I have kind of that dark discoloration in here. So I'm using this now to color correct and prime my eyelids for eyeshadow. So simple, all in one, very quick, and you can see a huge difference from one side to the other. Now it comes with 2 powders. This is a brightening, lavender brightening powder. Now I usually use that in the winter when I'm a little more sallow and cool toned, but right now I still have my summer tan. So I'm going to use this yellow, same thing right with this. Take some right on top and just press it right over everywhere that I put that, that color corrector. So now I have concealed under my eyes. I have color corrected my eyelids, brightened in here, primed my eyes for eyeshadow, and powdered them down, all with these 2 things. That makes me happy. So how's everybody doing? Thumbs up. We all doing good? Let's see. Oh, thanks, Dawn. So now I'm going to teach you how to do this very quick, easy, very flattering look for your eyes for every day. And I'm using my Jouer, I believe, oh, it's the Rose Gold Matte and Shimmer eyeshadow palette. Jouer is a great brand. We carry, again, only a curated amount of certain products, but it's a great independent luxury brand, and it's all clean beauty, very clean beauty. So now you can use any eyeshadow palette that you have. I'm going to use this one, and I'll show you exactly the mapping for this. I'm also using my Bdellium brushes, which is what we use at Blushington. This is what the makeup artists use. Now we sell these on blushington.com. An entire set of 14 brushes for $110. So if you are a makeup brush purchaser, user, you know that that's kind of a shocking price. to get a 14-piece set, but I can say that I would be lost without these brushes. They're synthetic, so you can use them for dry products and wet, but they can take the strongest beating and survive. They are brushes I actually recommend to people, and they never come out, they never shed, never. So I am using my 785 brush. Let me just double check. Yes, my 785 brush. It's a fluffy eyeshadow brush. What you want to do is take a warm brown tone shadow on a soft, fluffy brush. Now, whether you're using, you can also use a bronzer for this if you're on the go, or if you don't want to pack a lot of stuff, if you're on vacation. But I'm going to use this brown color here. Now, just a couple of mentions about using brushes. This is important stuff, so pay attention. So when it comes to brushes, just like as if you were drawing or writing, the thicker, tighter, like, let's say this one, this is a very tightly packed brush. This would be the equivalent of using a regular Sharpie. Okay, so the color would actually come out pretty strong and also thin, very like detailed. Now, obviously, if I'm using a brush tiny like this would be more like a fine tipped pen. Now, if I'm using something big like this would be like what people use to make posters, those big fat Sharpies. So the color is going to come out big, and it's important to know which brush to choose for when you're doing your makeup. So that's another part. If it's a very dense brush, it's going to pack color on. If it's a more wispy brush, it's going to give a more diffused kind of look, a diffused feathered look. That also goes now for how you hold your brush. So for the majority of the time that we'll work together, you will hold the brush facing you, and almost like as if you're gonna do motions like as if you're drawing on your own face, okay? Or writing. So you're gonna hold it just like that. Only in certain instances and circumstances will you hold it this way, but for the most part, you want to use it this way. You'll have a great amount of control that way. Now also, just like if you were writing with a pen, if you hold the pen all the way up here at the base of the pen or the brush, and you're writing, your writing is going to be very, very, very wispy looking, and you're not going to be able to make a deep impression. So when you want a softer application and a really wispy blend, that's when you want to hold your brush toward the end. When you want more pressure to apply color, more dark and dense, and you want you want to have a stronger blend, you can hold it down lower. So think writing on my face, as silly as that sounds, that's going to always help you figure out what's the right brush to pick and what is the right way to hold it to achieve the look that you want. So, and I tell everybody that I teach, we have 3 main components to every makeup application. That is getting the product onto your tool properly, that is proper placement, and then that is proper blending. So for the purposes of generally all makeup, the proper way to blend is in one continuous motion back and forth. You will get the most professional looking blend when you do that with your brush. You don't want to kind of be wispy, like, you know, putting it in different spots, or you'll never get a really even blend. So I always tell people back and forth like a windshield wiper. Okay. And then the same thing goes with placement. Wherever you first place your brush is where the color will be the densest, the darkest. So that means that if you're putting a bronzer on, for example, you don't want to start right here, because by the time your bronzer gets here, you want it to be soft and diffused. If you start it here, it's going to be heavy, a heavy like patch of bronzer. So with bronzer, you want to start up at the hairline so that you can diffuse it this way. So it's going to be the same thing with eye makeup. For the average eye makeup, we're going to be starting center. That way each end is very well blended out. Sometimes when you want to do a defining kind of corner look, then you'll start in the corner and blend that way. Okay, now that I've said all of that, we're going to go to our neutral kind of warm brown tone. So I'm going to get a little right onto this brush. And again, the proper application is on the tip of the brush. It's very important when that you're doing makeup that you have control. Everything that a makeup artist does, every position they put their hand in, the way they hold a brush, the way they apply product to a brush, it's all about control, because we want the product to go exactly where we want it to go. And once you get eyeshadow around the sides, you'll lose control over where you're trying to place it. So here we have, for those who don't know, Gigi, I assume this will be new information for you. This is your brow bone. This is the hard bone that's underneath your eyebrow. And all the skin here that covers your eyeball, that is called your eyelid. And there's a space in between that connects the two, a hollow space. That is your crease. Now again, we all have different eye shapes, and I generally will separate the placement of eye makeup like this into two. So we have people that have a monolid that really don't have a defined crease at all. We have people that have a deep set eye. We have people that have a hooded eyelid or a hooded brow bone. And that means that, and mine is somewhat like that. If I look straight ahead, you can see it's where the skin from this eyebrow touches the eyelid. So all of these eye shapes where you don't have a visibly defined crease when you're looking straight ahead, all of those eye shapes are going to be team one. So team one, we're going to apply this just slightly differently than team two. And team two would be any eye that has a visible crease when you're looking straight ahead in the mirror. Okay? So if everybody wants to take a minute and look straight ahead in the mirror, then you'll be able to see. Now, that's true, yes. You can also always book a one-on-one class with me if you want to go into depth about your specific eye shape, size, what is the best application for your eye makeup. So for the team that has the defined crease, team two, you are going to place your, yes, for team two, you can always, you're going to get product on the end of the brush, the tip of the brush, and you're going to go directly on the crease, in the crease. And you're just gonna go back and forth like a windshield wiper. Just like this, from side to side, side to side. Now, if you're like me, or those with deep set eye, hooded eye, monolid, what you're going to do is you're going to, I'm going to hold my mirror so I can show you this really well. You are going to create the effect of a deeper, higher crease. So the way to do this is you look, I hope I'm not covering my camera. Okay. You look straight ahead in the mirror, and with your eye open and your eyebrow relaxed, you're going to take your brush, also place it center, and you are going to draw almost an outline around your open eye. Can everybody see what I'm doing? And that is going to give you the same look as anybody else that has the defined crease when you put your this kind of warm transition shade on. Okay, so then the next color I'm going to choose, which looks a little hyper color on camera, but this is it's actually a kind of a blue toned pink. And if you don't have this, obviously a lot of us don't, you can use your blush. I'm just going to give this one more little bit of definition. So remember, I'm applying it central here, and then that back and forth, back and forth. And this can be customized to give yourself as much definition as you choose. Okay, and this is a matte color. I always recommend a matte color for this location on the eye. I think anyone can pull off. Back and forth does not determine how heavy the color is. This is what like blends it seamlessly. So that back and forth motion is what will keep the color blended. What will determine how heavy it is how many little dips you do and how many times you apply it. And you always do want to apply in smaller layers. It may seem like it takes a while, but it takes a lot less time than having to backtrack if it goes on too heavy. So now I'm going to take some of this pink. And pink is, even though a lot of people don't realize it, it's the most universally flattering eyeshadow color. If you have green eyes, blue eyes, hazel eyes, it will bring the color out. If you have brown eyes, it will bring the pink in your cheeks full circle around your face and just make you look just soft and beautiful. So now, again, I'm holding this kind of down at the end because I want a wispy application. So this I'm putting right over the eyelid. And this, again, I'm keeping it very, very light and soft because I just want that hint of color in my face. And again, if you don't have an eyeshadow like this, blush looks divine on the eyes. And I use blush all the time as an eyeshadow. So you can see this is very, very soft. And I'm keeping it soft because I want something that is flattering for all ages. But I also want something that brings that life and that color into the face. So one thing I will do, and this works great whether you're on Zoom or just at home, is I have this small pointed liner brush, and I will take it into this, it's kind of a champagne shimmer color. And this is going to go right in this inner corner. If you don't have a brush like this, or you don't want to purchase a brush like this, you can also do this with a pointed cotton swab. I love working with cotton swabs. They are very easy, very portable, very sanitary. And it's a great way to get some details going. So I do it almost just on this inside V of the eye with a shimmer color. Now this again is universally flattering. It will not make anyone's eyes look wrinkled, old, tired. What it does is it makes them look a little bit whiter and brighter. Now, if you want any extra definition, you could go in with, this is a number 780 brush. This is pretty densely packed, rounded, and a slightly pointed tip. So if you do want a little extra definition, you could go in really with any one of these colors and just add a little bit to this outer area of the eye. I generally, some people call it a V, but I tend to make it more in a C shape. My suggestion is go with the shape of your eye. So really you're putting it in like that outer crease area. So let's see, just for camera, I'm gonna use a little bit of that. It's almost like a dark burgundy, because these are my favorite kind of colors to work with. And you wanna use a soft pressure. Also important, yes, I would say that these shades I'm using are appropriate for every age and every skin tone. Because really what they are is they're skin tones themselves. They are basically the kind of bronze color, any bronze color that you would use for yourself. That's the color eyeshadow, or you can use your bronzer right in there. So basically you're creating some depth to the eye with a little bit of a contour. And then you're adding in some pink that you would have in your face naturally right over here. And then using a burgundy is really kind of just a deeper mix of that bronze and the, let's see, how do you use the skin tone? Just elaborate for what you mean for me, Sophia, sorry. But yeah, whatever it is, you know, everybody, all skin tones, we all have bronzer and blush that's appropriate for us. So when you're using a burgundy, again, it's almost just a deeper version of a pink. And yeah, I would say that this is universally flattering on anyone. So that's how you would add a little extra definition while still keeping it soft and approachable. Now, next is my favorite part. It's time to curl the lashes. So I'm using my Kevin Aquan Lash Curler. And for anybody that doesn't know how to use one, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna turn sideways. So here's what you do. You can put your pointer finger and your thumb through it, and your opening closing motion is just going to be opening and closing those two fingers. So what you do is you open it, I'm going to kind of lean it back, and then I go in with a closed eye and then open my eye in there. Then you want to just gently close and feel. See, I'm just kind of opening and closing. I'm feeling to see if anything is pinching. So when nothing is pinching, then you just squeeze those two fingers together. And if you're a pro and you want a super curl, just lift your hand straight up just a little bit. And then to release them, you just open those fingers again. And I don't know if you can see really without mascara on yet, but it makes a huge difference. Important, you never want to do that when you have mascara on. That has to be done on bare lashes always. So now we're going to do mascara. And this is a special mascara. Now this again is the Kevin Aquan brand. Kevin Aquan was an amazing makeup artist, and every single product in their brand line is developed to be like exceptional in terms of its application technique. So what's great about this, first of all, it's a tubing mascara. So if you're not familiar with what that is, that means that instead of coating your lashes with pigment and like a hairspray type of, effect, this is actually building little black tubes on each lash. So it's great for thickening, defining, and lengthening them. It stays on all day. It's like smudge proof, it's not waterproof, but it's smudge proof, smear proof, and it comes off with just warm water. I am not exaggerating. Anybody that's used this, please back me up here. You can literally just wet your lashes and you can just kind of do like that with your finger on your lash and it just comes right off. So it's great if you have delicate lashes. If you, yes, you always have to use the curler on bare lashes. You never want to curl on top of mascara, or what happens is your mascara lashes will stick to the curler. So you never want to do that, only on bare lashes. So the tubing mascara, it's great if you have delicate lashes, if they're recovering from extensions, if you are going through or just have completed chemotherapy. This is really great because you can use it, and I'm telling you, it's so gentle to the lashes that there's no scrubbing required. Yeah, it removes really easily. You don't need makeup remover. The other part that's amazing is that it is super, super skinny. I don't know if you can see how skinny that is, but it's, yeah, it's very, very skinny and makes it really easy, no matter what your eye shape is, to apply it without making a mess. Now for the sight challenged, this is also great because with it being so skinny, you can get really close to the lash line and you don't have to be doing this all relying on your sight. So I'm going to show you my best technique. Yes, this may be what you need. We carry several different ones, Mary, but this one is great for like ease of application, precision. It's really great with delicate lashes. I feel like when I'm using it all the time, my lashes feel a little bit stronger. They're not falling out as much. I'm not scrubbing them to remove it. So now here's my trick for anyone that is sight challenged or doesn't have the most steady hand, or somebody that's newly starting out, and everybody in between. You take your elbow, you anchor your elbow onto a countertop, a table, whatever's in front of you. This way, you're gonna hold your hand in place and you never have to move your hand. So you don't have to worry if your hand is shaky, and you don't have to worry if you can't see very well. You're not going to get this all over you. So now what you will do is I kind of lean my head toward the hand and I focus on getting the feeling of it right at my lash line. Now I want to just wiggle and blink my eye. Wiggle, blink my eye. Wiggle, blink. And believe it or not, you get every single lash coated this way. You also don't have to worry about getting it all over. This is great for teaching beginners, but this is also great, like I said, if you wear glasses and you can't really see what you're doing, you don't really have to do much of anything. You're just touching mascara to you, wiggle, and blink your eye. And this you can layer as much as you want. I'm not gonna go too crazy for today, just for time's sake, but you can see that, let's see, you can see it makes a difference. Sometimes my lashes really curl like crazy, and some days they don't do the best curl, but it's better than when I do no curl at all, that is for sure. The other thing is that this is really easy to use under the eye because it's so skinny. I only know of one other mascara on the market that is that skinny, and it's specifically made for under your lashes. So yeah, again, I love that this won't smudge and it'll stay on throughout the day, but it's not actually working like with waterproof mascara where I have to deal with a lot of aftermath for removal. Now, another little tip is that, oh, FYI, I just realized with my code on blushington.com, you also get free shipping on anything over $100. So if you're doing early holiday shopping, like I'm trying to do now, might as well use the 20% off and get your free shipping and get it done early. So now another little trick that I teach people is I call it cheating in. This looks great again on Zoom. This also looks great in person. So in order to enhance the curl of your lash and the width and the height of your eye, if you take your mascara wand, and instead of just doing the up and down, if you kind of tilt the curl inward, that's a good way to help kind of enhance the curl, make the lashes stand up a little bit higher, and it also kind of fans them out and spreads them so that your eye just looks more enlarged and exotic. And then the very last little trick I'm going to teach you guys, which is my favorite, is how to do the tight liner under the lash line on the top. So if you have tried this with me before, you may be a beginner, you may be on your 10th time doing it. Keep practicing, because I promise you it is the most worthwhile part of makeup application. It's like one of the most worthwhile skills to master. So what I'm gonna do now, you can do this with a pencil, but I find this to be the easiest way. So I'm taking my 762, it's an angled detail brush, and I'm dipping it into this Stila black smudge pot. Now, normally for eyeliner, I don't recommend using black unless you have very dark skin, because on most skin tones, it's not very flattering, and it's definitely not youthful looking. But what I'm doing with this, I'm just gonna get some product right on the tip of it. What I'm doing with this is I'm actually really gonna paint the base of my lash line. So this way I'm extending the look of my lashes. I'm giving myself the definition of eyeliner without having to take away any space from my eyelid. So my eye is gonna look bigger. My lashes are gonna look darker, fuller, longer. The whites of the eyes will look whiter and brighter. And this looks great, very natural in person, and it looks very impactful on camera. So what you want to do for this is, again, we're going to anchor the elbow, and I'm holding this just like as if it was a mascara wand, and I was going to be using it this way, except I'm holding it this way. And then you just open your eye, and I'm just lifting up my eye with the brush, and I'm not going into the actual waterline. I'm really just tapping it at the very base of my eyelashes. So if you do this, you'll see such a huge difference. And usually when I'm teaching, I do one side of my face. And the last time I did this, my client was so freaked out about how different my two eyes looked next to each other, because it really makes such a huge difference. So if you don't think about it as though you're not putting this in your eye, you're really like kind of using this to lift your eyelashes up and just paint that bottom of them from underneath. You want to make sure you go all the way from one side, getting another little dip, and you want to go all the way in. And this, I'm using this product in particular because it's a waterproof gel eyeliner. I would say don't ever do this with a liquid eyeliner. It will never work, and you'll just get color all in your like over your eyeball. So when you're doing this, you can do this with a kohl pencil. You can do this with a waterproof pencil, but I've found that a waterproof gel works the best. Now, you could also, as my favorite thing to do, is just go, really you're just extending, like from where the lashes start. If you just take that in and extend it to there, and then take this and make sure that you extend it all the way out. Let's see, can you see the difference from one eye to the other? Like a pretty strong difference. I usually see it pretty strong. Yes, okay, Danielle can see it, yay. Yeah, it can be very strong. Now, if you want, with what you have left on here, sometimes what I'll do is just kind of wipe most of it off on my hand, and then when I have just a little touch of it, just pull it along the bottom lashes from the outer corner, and you don't want to go any further in than the widest width of your eye. When people talk about eyeliner closing down or shutting down the eye, making it look smaller, that is often because they're highlighting with like a crayon, you know, the smallest part of the eye. Now, if you only highlight to the widest part, then you are drawing everybody's eye to this width here. So, and you want to make sure that that's really nicely smudged. You will also increase the width and the look of your eye if you connect your top and bottom liners. Now, if you have very wide set eyes, you don't want to connect there. You want to leave a little space between the top and bottom. But this is my kind of simple, let's see, my simple everyday eye look that I would say is flattering on every age, every generation that's alive right now. And it's something that your teenage daughter can do, your, you know, 80-year-old mother can do, your, you know, 60-year-old sister can do, everybody can do this. and it's universally flattering on everyone. This palette that I used, I would say that it has colors that are flattering for every skin tone. If you have a very dark skin tone, you could just use this dark brown as opposed to the light brown for the crease. This pink will show up just as beautifully on very dark skin as it will on very light skin. And I'm going to show you one more trick. Fast one. Okay, now this is not a Blushington product, but this is a life changer. I'm using an electric lash curler, so a heated lash curler. So it has a battery, it doesn't get super hot. They have them all over online. You can find them all different places. But what this does, now this, I use this to give myself an even more intense curl. You can do this by itself, but you have to do this. Now this one you have to do after mascara. And all you do is you just kind of hold it and hold the lashes. See how I'm just kind of holding them up like that? And you hold it for a few seconds. I usually kind of do a pull upward. And can you see how it's already giving them such a much more defined curl? So if you are really a lash lover and you want to maximize your lashes, my suggestion is the Kevyn Aucoin Lash Curler, that mascara that seems to be like very healthy for the lashes, and then follow with this. And I'm telling you, it doesn't get hot. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not sure it's on because I can barely feel the heat. And that makes all the difference. And people usually ask me what fake lashes I'm wearing. And I tell them I'm not. So can you see that difference that just that alone made? So, all right, guys, our hour is up. I want to thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Dawn. I'm so excited. Stanisha, hey, I'm just seeing you now. So Stanisha, you can do this palette. This palette has, especially like, I want to always reiterate, the brighter colors, they will look on you a spectacular way that they can't really look on lighter skin tones. So don't be afraid of where there's like, you know, bright colors. And if you're lighter skin, don't be afraid. Yes, Carly, we are going to eventually post this on our YouTube site. And I believe we'll post it also on our Facebook page. But I just want to thank you guys all so much. This was so fun. I believe that yes, you can find past complimentary classes, everything on our YouTube page. Hi, Gigi. Thank you to all my family and friends and my past and now new clients. If anybody ever wants to do a private one-on-one lesson with me, the prices are super reasonable. So look me up at blushington.com. Check everything out that we have, all the products we have. These are all artist tested, approved products. So they're all things that translate from like professional artistry to user friendly. And yes, absolutely. Carly, we do private classes with friends all the time. Bachelorette parties, ladies' nights out, birthday parties, tween parties, teen parties, corporate events. I've been doing a lot of corporate events. Anything. We can customize literally anything anyone wants. So you guys, and again, follow us at Blushington. You can follow me if you want on Instagram at Lauren Serra Makeup Artist. Email virtual@blushington.com, and we'll set up anything that you want to learn privately or in a group. Thank you again all for coming. and sign up for my other classes. I'm going to be doing this for the next 4 weeks. Okay. So thanks again, guys. Bye. Bye. Bye, Cheryl. Bye, Uzma.